2019, Ghana took a decisive step towards reducing plastic waste by becoming the first African country to join the Global Plastic Action Partnership, with the ambition of eradicating plastic pollution of marine resources by 2040. The World Bank has been a critical partner to Ghana's plastic waste reduction agenda through PROBLUE, which is an umbrella multi-donor trust fund administered by the World Bank that supports the sustainable and integrated development of marine and coastal resources in healthy oceans.
The World Bank has three main initiatives that are supporting plastic waste and pollution in Ghana. The first is PROBLUE, which is funding several activities. For example, we provide support to help the government evaluate proposed policies related to plastics and waste management. We're helping to map pollution hotspots. And we're supporting the integration of informal actors into the solid waste management system. A key initiative that's launching right now is helping the government to analyze the economic and financial performance of the solid waste management sector. The second initiative is the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project. This is a multi-year project funded by the World Bank that has the objective of reducing flood risk in Accra. The third activity is that the World Bank is a founding partner in the Ghana National Plastic Action Partnership.
Ghana National Plastic Action Partnership serves as a multi-stakeholder platform, bringing together national players to work together to turn commitments to address plastic waste into action. Over the past 2 years, we have convened 300 member organizations from the public, private, and civil society organizations to develop strategies and activities to address plastic pollution in Ghana. We also have the National Action Plastics Roadmap, which also provides recommendations on how Ghana can achieve a zero leakage of plastics into the ocean by 2040.
We have been a founding member of the Ghana Plastic Action Partnership through PROBLUE, based on the experience and expertise that we've seen elsewhere in the world, working with government, with the various agencies, the various development partners, the private sector. So we've been able to set the foundations for us to have a clear and structured way of tackling plastic pollution in the country.
The World Bank has been very helpful. A lot of these policy documents that have been developed, the World Bank, together with some bilateral partners, have helped us to bring out this paper. We know that we have to use a cross-sectorial collaboration, because even though I have the primary mandate, there are subsidiary mandate with other entities like local government, water and sanitation, and fisheries and aquaculture, so to speak.
Ghana generates approximately 840,000 tons of plastic waste per year, of which nearly 10% or 80,000 tons leak into water bodies such as the ocean every year. While government and development partners continue to design and promote policies to reduce plastic waste in Ghana, local innovators are championing efficient solutions to reduce plastic waste in Ghana and prevent the seepage of plastics into water resources.
Macintosh Africa is a social enterprise in the sustainability, environment, and climate action space. Part of our work focuses on influencing national policy in terms of how plastic waste is managed. We also have public place installations. We built the first public place bus shelter. With the Macintosh bus shelter or bus stop is at Jolu Junction, first of its kind on the African continent. The frames are built from plastic lumber. Inside the roofing we have gallons and bottles of waste. At the back we have flip-flop, or what we call chalewate waste, that has been recovered from the beach, that has been turned into a beautiful Adinkra artwork.
Coliba basically is into recovery and recycling of plastic waste, mostly the less recycled plastics that has less value. What we're trying to do is to massively ensure there's infrastructure for collection. So we do have what we call the buyback centers. Currently we have 10 buyback centers, and these buyback centers are supposed to be a collection point where people can actually bring their plastic and get an incentive for it. The goal is to set up 200 of these across the whole country. And it's a half for plastics. And then it's finally recycled. Then you can solve the stock problem. You can effectively collect the recycled materials irrespective of the district or locality. So I think that's our scale strategy.
Plastic Punch is an NGO. What we do is to raise awareness on plastic pollution, at the same time collecting relevant data to influence policy and waste management systems. So generally, food packaging is one of the highest pollutants that we find. So one of our innovations is coming up with biodegradable and alternative packaging solutions to replace the usual plastic solutions that we have. We're looking at cassava, sugarcane, industrial hemp to come up with products that will look and feel like plastic, but not plastic, and will be 100% degradable.
With Cesar Recycling Limited, we started as a pilot in the year 2019 with school kids within the Ashanti municipality. When we collect the materials from the communities and the schools, we transport them to a facility where we have women over there who do the segregation, because we have our own classifications. So we're able to differentiate them before it goes through a crushing process. After the crushing process, we are able to pack them and sell within the local market or sell to the foreign markets.
Academic institutions such as the University of Ghana are also making important contributions by piloting an innovative plastic waste segregation project.
We began the implementation of the University of Ghana Plastic Recycling Project in August 2018. What we did in the initial stages was to identify receptacles that we felt could be adapted for use, and we place the receptacles at the floors of the student hostels, expecting the students to respond accordingly. So they would put in the empty PET bottles and also the empty plastic bags. Our primary objective was to institutionalize plastic waste segregation in the University of Ghana. That would be an example for other institutions and perhaps the entire educational system of Ghana.
As part of its extended producer responsibility, Voltix supports the University of Ghana with its plastic waste segregation projects while making modification to its production processes to reduce its plastic output.
For us at Voltix, we are looking at having sustainable product packaging. So what we have now is the new twist bottle where you drink, you twist, and you recycle. You also would see that we used to have a plastic cap sleeve on our bottles. We've taken that off. We have reduced the plastic content of our PET bottles. We are also working towards achieving the Coca-Cola Company's target of reaching a recycling rate of 100% by the year 2030. So what this means is that for every bottle or can that we sell, we should be able to recover a bottle or can and recycle that. In the long term, what we are looking at doing is being able to set up a permanent buyback center where people can go in at any time and drop off their plastics.
The commendable gains notwithstanding, there remain some challenges that require urgent attention.
I would characterize the solid waste and plastic waste situation in Ghana as being quite critical. It is impacting the urban environment, it's impacting flood risk management, and it's impacting the quality of life for people who live in Ghana.
Plastic pollution is affecting marine life horribly. In some areas where we work, fisher folks are not able to go fishing anymore because when they go fishing, they catch more plastics than fishes. It's destroying livelihoods, it's destroying marine health.
World Bank's ultimate objective is to help reduce poverty in the world. And as we know, the oceans provide livelihoods for billions of people across the world. So by working with every stakeholder to ensure that we keep our oceans clean, we tackle plastic pollution, we are preserving the livelihoods of billions of people across the world.
While Ghana remains a continental leader in plastic waste management, local innovators believe increased government effort will lead to greater plastic reduction.
So Ghana is one of the few countries on the continent of Africa that is trying to find solutions to the problem when it comes to innovations in the sector. The bigger challenge for us as a country has to do with the behavior, where people are not very responsible in the way they handle the waste that they have, and then also a lack of enforcement in terms of making people to do the right thing.
So we have a situation that demands urgent action. We are at a point where there are emerging initiatives that are targeted at addressing plastic pollution. But we also understand that there are also some significant challenges that we must all need to work together to be able to overcome that, to achieve the zero leakage of plastics into the water bodies by 2040.
What we need to do on the national level for us to achieve a cleaner environment in the whole of Ghana would be to standardize the waste management structures. Not the situation we have right now where you go to community A, the waste is managed differently, community B is managed differently, community C is managed differently. It makes it difficult for awareness raising. You cannot have a synced message towards solutions.
Governments should reach out to support in some way. Because we are working to create innovations to solve problems that traditionally our governments are supposed to be solving.
The model for recycling in Ghana is an incentive-based model. So we brought in a new model that we are going to grade this country where there are human settlements. And you will be rewarded by the plastics not seen in the environment rather than the weight of the plastics that you collect. And this one will go as a complement to the one that I came to meet.
Individuals can also play a huge role to support the government and its partners to reduce plastic waste in Accra.
The message I have for every Ghanaian is that there's always this assumption that it's somebody else's responsibility to deal with the waste we generate. The waste you generate is your responsibility. If you cannot take care of it, then you shouldn't generate it.
At home, you can be part of the change. Reduce as much as possible. When you go to the market, carry a reusable bag or a cloth bag rather than going to take all these single-use plastics. This way, we are reducing our plastic consumption and we are contributing to a cleaner and healthier environment.
We need to be ready to invest in education and sensitization, where the message is carried on and we drum it down and we all understand the full scope of the challenge we have at hand. If we all understand this and we all come together to play a role, then we can achieve the world without waste that we are talking about.
This is something that everybody has to make his or her contribution. World Bank will make our contribution, like I said, but also the people. Every time that we throw a plastic bottle on the beach or in the sea, we are contributing to this. And I firmly believe if each and every citizen, people like us here in Ghana, starts by taking, the action ourselves, it will be a much, much easier battle to tackle.
Our citizens play a very, very important role in how we manage plastics. We want them to know that without them, we cannot solve this problem. When they use plastics, put them in separate bins. We will come and collect them and we will pay you money for it. Every plastic that you collect, as a government, we place a value for it and we will compensate you for doing that.
Ghana is on the right path towards reducing its plastic waste challenge. With increased efforts from the government, development partners, and fundamentally its citizens, the country would achieve the needed acceleration to realize its plastic waste reduction ambitions and cement its status as a continental leader in the global fight against plastics.